Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For our subject, which is MAF251 presentation, our group will be presenting about traditional production and flexible production, along with its advantages, disadvantages, and difference.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Amirul Ikhwan bin Ashaari from AC 1104H. I will present about introduction of traditional production. Basically, there are two types of production in this 21st century, which is traditional manufacturing and certainly is flexible manufacturing. Traditional production is a process in which the manufacturer produces their product in a certain amount in a certain period. The product they use this method of production generally standardized by the manufacturer because they produce it in mass. So this method of production were brought from the evolution of industry from 18th century. So the customer can make a special order or some customization on it. It is not really customer friendly. To become more efficient and competitive, currently productive organizations have had to adopt new technology, improve their system and production method, and adapt to markets. The particularities of the manufacturing system are varied in terms of density, shape, size, aesthetic, or strength. These systems are used in the field of industry. However, there are still many companies with traditional manufacturing systems whose main characteristics are they are designed for specific product, the process ends in the last machine in the row, the variety of product is low. Moreover, the traditional approach of production need the management to make decision on how product that they want to how much the product that they want to produce. The employee are trained only for the limited skill that required to produce the goods. The product are standardized and it is focused how much they can produce, not the quality of overall product. Although the traditional manufacturing is not really efficient and effective for today's production, there are four advantages of this method. Firstly, the producer no need to consult with the customer for what specification of product that they obtain. There are cases which the customer want to adjust the product although the product was on the production line and nearly finished. Second, they can hold a reserve of product in case of shortage occur and the supply of the product still going. Three, it is well suited for mass production that the spec of product remains same from A to Z, such as production of textile. 4. The customer can easily obtain a spare part if there is any damage on the product. There are 4 disadvantages of traditional manufacturing or production that I will explain. First, it is difficult to customize special order. Nowadays, the customer prefer to order a product from the manufacturer which accepts special order because it can fulfill their needs for the specification of product and also reduce their cost for unwanted things. Secondly, the production will be high due to high labor costs. Third, it will reduce the producer's profit because the high in cost of goods sold. Last is the waste of material will be occurred by the producer in the production and it will lead to inefficiency of resources used.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi and assalamualaikum everyone. So, as we all know, I will be the next presenter for this topic, which is traditional production against the flexible production. So, firstly, I would like to introduce myself, which is my name is Muhammad Amir bin Norazman. My number of matrix is 2019-265678, and I'm studying at University of Technology Mara at Dungun, Terengganu. And today I would like to share to you guys about my topic, which is flexible production. So I hope you guys gonna stay tuned. Flexible production. What is actually the definition of flexible production? What is the advantages or the disadvantages of the production? And what is the characteristic of the production? So I will tell you guys in this video. So I will start with the definition of flexible production or flexible manufacturing. So as we can see in the slide, flexible manufacturing defined as a method of production that is designed to adapt easier when changes in the type and quantity of the product being manufactured. As we can see, this method or flexible production can help the owner of the product if they want to change in the product or when the product being manufacturing. This method can help in to adapt easier when there's some changes in the product. So this method can help in lowering a company's production cost and improving efficiency. It also can be a key or a way of a make-to-order strategy that helps customer if they want to customize their product in their own way. We'll move on to the next slide, which is advantages of flexible production. As you can see in the slide, the advantages of flexible production or the benefit of flexible production have 6 of it. So the first one is reduce production costs. Secondly, there will be large variety of same products. Thirdly, requires limited inventory. Fourthly, it makes labor costs becomes lower. Fifthly, flexible system. And the last but not least is speedy production. I will explain to you guys about these 6 advantages or benefit of flexible production. For the first advantage, how can flexible production system or flexible manufacturing system can reduce the production cost? It is because of the flexibility of this method. For the second one, the large variety of same products. Flexible manufacturing system can produce a large variety of the same type, which is homogeneous of products. For the thirdly, requires limited inventory. Flexible manufacturing system requires limited inventories compared to the other production system, such as traditional production. Fourthly, low labor costs. In flexible manufacturing system, most of the work is done by automated machines and robots, so there is hardly any need of a manual work or some human intervention. Therefore, in FMS, the labor cost becomes very low. Fifthly, flexible system. FMS or flexible production is a very flexible system. This is because it can produce a large variety of similar products. The quantity and design of production can also be changed very quickly. For the last one, which is speedy production, the products can be produced very quickly because the materials are loaded, unloaded, and transferred from one machine to another by robots. For the next slide, I would like to share to you guys about the disadvantages of flexible production. So, the disadvantages of the flexible production. Firstly, the system is a complex system. Secondly, requires highly skilled workers or technicians. Thirdly, needs a high level of planning. And the last one, this system demands a high initial investment. I would like to give you some explanation about the disadvantages. For the first disadvantages, Why does this method of flexible manufacturing system is a complex system? Flexible production is a very complex system and it is not easy to understand and use it. For the second one, requires highly skilled technicians. Flexible manufacturing system requires highly skilled technicians to operate the complex machines. Secondly, it also very difficult to repair these machines. Hence, employing and contracting a small group of highly skilled technicians to operate and maintain FMS becomes mandatory. For the third one, we need high level of planning. For this system, this system needs a high level of planning and a more disciplined environment than other production systems, such as traditional production. And the last one demands high initial investment. Flexible manufacturing system demands a high initial investment. As a result, only those businesses that have huge capital can afford FMS and implement it. Small business cannot afford such a large initial investment and therefore seek alternate system of production. In conclusion, we can see that there are more advantages than the disadvantages of this system, which is manufacturing flexible system. So, in my opinion, I think that flexible manufacturing system is way more better than the traditional production. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Qayyim Faiz bin Zulazhan. Student ID 2019260414. So as the third presenter from my group, I will be presenting about the difference between traditional production and flexible production. As the name of our topic imply, it will be about traditional versus flexible production. So obviously I will differentiate these two type of production and conclude which of the production type is better. There are 6 types of difference that I will be telling to you guys in my presentation. So the first one will be traditional production require a high labor cost to maintain its production, while flexible production require a lower direct labor cost to maintain its production. This is due to the small numbers of workers by flexible production, because they only focusing to get skilled workers rather than more workers, unlike traditional production which focus to get more workers to maintain its own production. Secondly, traditional production focus on mass production and didn't take customization, while flexible production is suitable for mass production and also take customization. As stated by Amirul in his slide, traditional production isn't that complicated, so they only focus to produce mass production product, so it will be easier for them, unlike flexible production who is more complex and specialization in their production. That's why they is also suitable for mass production, and they will also take customization for their customer or their order. That's why because they are more complex than traditional production. For the third difference, it will be traditional production is easier to plan and not complex or complicated, while flexible production require a high level of planning to conduct its production. Traditional production is easy to plan because, first of all, they didn't take customization in their production. They also focus on mass production, which is all consists of the same type of product and easier to make. While for flexible production, which is more complex and require high level of planning, because they need to use the high level of machine, and also they also take the customization for their order or product. That's why it tend to be a more kind of high level production compared to traditional production. The next difference is traditional production have large lead time and tend to fall behind the timetable, while flexible production have shorter lead time compared to traditional production thanks to its high machine efficiency. As stated before by Amir, flexible production have more advanced technology and machine. They also have more skilled workers compared to traditional production, which didn't have high requirement for their workers. That's why flexible production can finish more faster and has shorter lead time compared to traditional production, which has large lead time and often fall behind its timetable. The fifth difference is traditional production have proficient budgeting and cost control, while flexible production have a high initial setup cost. This is mainly because flexible production is a complex and advanced type of production. To make the flexible production is not easier as it seems. Of course, you will need a high initial setup cost. You need to pay more to make its production. That's why traditional production have a proficient budgeting and can control their costs better than flexible production. The last difference will be technology. Flexible production have the access of computer-aided design and computer-aided manufacturing, while traditional production didn't have access to advanced system or machine. This is to be expected since flexible production require high initial setup costs. They also need a high level of planning, as stated before. That's why their own production is more complex than traditional production. Traditional production that tends to be more, how do we say it, traditional cannot be compared to flexible production lah in terms of technology. So for the last slide, which is conclusion. After a comparative analysis of the advantages and disadvantages of traditional production and flexible production, we can conclude that both types of production have some distinctive characteristic, which means they have their own characteristic lah. The types of production that you have decided to choose should be based by your circumstances and many other factors regarding your product. For overall analysis, we will say that flexible production is better than traditional production due to its advanced nature, and also they have many benefits compared to traditional production. So it will be obvious that flexible production is better than traditional production. However, there are still a lot of companies that use traditional production because of their circumstances. That means that traditional production is also useful in contributing to marketing lah, production. Okay.
So it seems like we have come to the end of our group presentation. As the representative of our group, I would like to thank to you guys for keep watching our video until the end. I think that's all from us. I wish you all have a nice day and thank you for watching. Goodbye.